Hi, this is Eric Martin with Board Game Geek News, and before we jump into the game we're going to look at in this little overview, I just want to mention one of the interesting things about being a game designer is, of course, you are creating for now, you're creating for players today, but you're creating for players in the future too. And if you do a good job, if you create something that's really something interesting and magical and creative, people have a lot of fun with, it will live beyond you. It will last beyond. So the game I'm talking about is designed by Alex Randolph, who died in the early 2000s. But companies are still coming out with this game. So Jequo and Chow Chow were recently issued in new editions by Dreihausen in der Abendzone. And Incognito, this is the old Rally version. Ares Games came out with a new edition of that. All right. So his games are still continuing on. And Ricochet Robots. All right, there's a new edition by Abacus Spiele, and now Z-Man Games brought it to the US. And so let's look at that. So to set up Ricochet Robots, you take 4 of the 8 boards. There are 8 boards, 2 red, 2 blue, and so on. You use 1 of each color. You set them up in arrangement here, and you place the robots at any spaces on the board that you choose at random. Now, what you're trying to do with any number of players gathered around the board, staring at the board and the robots, you reveal a target space, and you want to move the robot of that color to that space. But you cannot actually move the robots while you're trying to figure out the solution. You must instead stare at the robots and imagine moving them across the board, okay, and eventually landing the blue one there. You must count all the movements that you make. And when you find a solution to land the robot on a space, you call out that number. One tricky part about moving the robots is you can't just stop them wherever you want them to, because of course that'd be pretty easy. I can move 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be way too easy. These robots have no brakes. And once they start moving, they will keep moving until they hit something. So if I start moving in this direction, it slams all the way over to the edge of the board. Okay? Now, I must find a way to get the blue robot in that space. But if I just moved him here, 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 I can't stop there. I have to go on. And then I keep moving. That's not going to work. So instead, what I might want to do is move other robots into that area first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Okay, but again, I do that all mentally. When someone finds a solution, they yell out a number, 17, and they flip the timer. Everyone else has that much time to call out a number of their own, and it can be higher or lower or the same number if they want. Okay, when time runs out, the game stops. The person who calls out 17 can also call out another number, but it has to be lower. When time runs out, whoever has called the lowest number tries to demonstrate their solution. And you leave these squares in this space, so in case they mess up, you can reset everything and the next person can try. If someone calls out 15, for example, they try to demonstrate 15. If they fail, someone else who called out 15 demonstrates. Okay, whoever eventually lands there, okay, put my robots here, 17, and that worked. If that works, you reset these spaces here. I get this token, and we reveal a new token and go again. If you reveal this multicolor token here, you just need to get any one robot onto this space. Boop. Oh, that's not a solution though. Each solution must be at least two moves. So if a robot would move to a space directly, you need to bounce it around and do something else to get it there. It has to be at least some complication there. All right. You can play to a certain number of tokens. Whoever gets the first 5 tokens, 6 tokens, depends on the number of players, or whoever just has the most tokens when the game ends. Game also includes a silver robot, and silver guy, he just sits around. He gets to be a blocker, a little space filler along the lines of these guys, or of course, he can land in the multicolor vortex. Like many Alex Randolph games, or Sid Saxon, if you want to think of another designer from that era, the game's kind of one-dimensional. It's got this spatial recognition skill. If you can do that well, then you'll do well at the game. If not, well, then someone else might beat you. Some people just cannot play this game at all. Their brains just do not function that way. Some people just get it, and they can map solutions out in seconds and just blow everyone else away. And all you're trying to do at that point is just get one token. All I want is one. and I'll count that as a victory. The game includes solo rules. You can also just play by yourself. You can practice and get better if you want. All right, flip over a target, turn over the timer. If you find a solution by the time the timer is out, you keep the token. Otherwise, you throw it away. If you keep more tokens than you throw away, you win. One other challenge with Ricochet Robots is you can use the back side of the boards, not in your first game, try not to do this, and up the challenge of the game. You got these little diagonal things here. Okay, if you would move a robot and the barriers are the same color, then the robot will go right through it and won't see it. If you move a robot of a different color, it bounces off that, and that still counts as one move. The only odd thing about this is you got 8 boards, you got lots of combinations for combining them, you got the robots, you got pieces. It doesn't really take up that much space, and the box itself kind of does. Thankfully, there's a solution for that. A few minutes with a knife, a little straight edge, no alterations. You take off roughly half the box, and you get yourself a nice slim silhouette for Ricochet Robots. Thanks Z-Man Games for the review copy, and I hope you don't mind that I destroyed it.